Marketing has undergone significant changes over the past few years. It's more complex, more saturated, and more competitive than ever. Though we might not want to admit it to ourselves, things feel wobbly in the industry. In fact, many marketers online are voicing this. Take this very recent LinkedIn discussion where the Post author wrote, "People are scared to say this publicly, but everyone's quietly worried. Good, honest, hardworking people. Because marketing's a bit weird right now. The old stuff don't work like it used to." Now, this is a fairly straightforward statement, nothing groundbreaking, but if you scroll through the comments, one thing becomes clear. A lot of marketers are quietly anxious about their place in a changing industry. The shift toward AI, performance pressure, and tighter budgets is real, and so is the uncertainty about how to stay relevant. And the data backs that up. According to our CMO Insights Report 2025, which surveyed over 100 global marketing leaders, here are a few standout findings. 29% of all orgs have downsized marketing teams due to economic pressure. 81% of CMOs say revenue is now a top priority metric, but only 36% of CMOs describe themselves as very effective at hitting growth goals. 63% of CMOs have integrated AI into their tech stacks, but many are still figuring out its true value. But guess what? When everything feels like it's shifting, one thing becomes more valuable than ever: trust. In your judgment, in your expertise, and in your ability to lead through change. Which brings us to today's topic: thought leadership and personal branding. You don't need to be famous. You don't need to post every day. But if you've got something real to say and you say it with purpose, consistently, you're already halfway there. This video breaks down how to build a thought leadership strategy that works. One that doesn't feel forced, and more importantly, one you can actually stick to. Let's get into it. Start with your why. Before you post anything, ask yourself, why do you even want to do this? Perhaps you want your voice to resonate beyond your company, or you're seeking better opportunities. Whatever the reason is, be honest about it. When you're clear on your why, it becomes a lot easier to focus your content and show up with intention. Try this. Write one sentence about what you want to be known for. If it sounds vague or like something from a corporate slide deck, you probably need to dig deeper. Know what you want to be known for. Thought leadership isn't about having opinions on everything. It's about owning a specific perspective on a few things that actually matter to you and that you know inside out. So, what's your thing? Have you scaled a team from scratch or tested every go-to-market motion under the sun and have stories to tell? Our advice? Start small and stick to 2 or 3 themes. That's more than enough to be memorable or to produce content that aligns with your expertise and values. Take stock of where you are. You don't have to start from scratch. If you've done a few panels, written a blog post, or been a guest on a podcast, that's all material you can build from. What have you already put out there? Where have you seen traction? And what's missing? Sometimes the first win is just doing more of what's already working, but with a bit more intention. If you haven't done any of that, sit with your ideas a bit and try to write down a few so you get a sense of what you want to say. It doesn't need to be innovative right away. It just needs to be true to you. Find your voice. This part is pretty critical because a lot of content sounds the same, especially when it's full of disclaimers, buzzwords, and it depends statements. You don't need to be controversial, but you do need to be clear. People remember voices that are honest and direct, not just agreeable. Think about the stuff you say in private Slack chats, the rants you go on in one-to-ones, the advice you give your team that doesn't show up in a LinkedIn post. That could be the perfect starting point. Instead of a to-do list, create a system or process. You don't need to be a machine constantly posting things. That's hardly sustainable. Instead, focus on a pace or format that works for you. If you like writing, write. If you're better on camera, record. If you're more of a talker, get on podcasts or speak at events. The best thought leaders aren't the most prolific. They're just consistent. So maybe that looks like 1 long post per month or week, a couple of video shorts each week, and 1 speaking opportunity every quarter. Whatever your cadence is, write it down, build a system, and try your best to stick to it. Show up authentically where you can, and be compassionate with yourself on days when you need more time. Repurpose everything. Don't reinvent the wheel every week. You can stretch one good idea in a dozen different directions. Turn your blog post into a LinkedIn carousel. Take that podcast interview and create a short video for social. Grab quotes and turn them into visuals or pull quote graphics. Even if it feels repetitive to you, it won't to your audience. And repetition isn't boring. It's how people remember you. Get smarter about distribution. Posting is just half the job. You've also got to get your content in front of the right people. That means commenting on relevant threads, tagging others sparingly and respectfully, participating in niche Slack groups or newsletters, Borrowing audiences via podcasts, guest posts, and collabs. Key to this step is to forget about virality. It's about showing up where it counts. Look beyond likes. So, an extension of our previous point on not chasing virality, don't let social metrics fool you. Some of your most influential content might get 5 likes, but drive a job offer, podcast invite, or new customer. Pay attention to who's reaching out after they've seen your stuff, if people are referencing your ideas in meetings, whether your content is creating conversations, not just impressions. That's the real measure of impact. Don't ghost your audience. At this stage, most people quit, but you've got to stay consistent. It's not about posting a few things, seeing little engagement, and then disappearing. Thought leadership is a long game. You're building trust and reputation, and that takes time. Set goals, block time on your calendar, and keep showing up, even when it feels like no one's watching. Trust often builds in silence. Stay curious. The best thought leaders aren't just confident, they're also curious. They read, they ask questions, they follow people outside their bubble. They listen more than they speak. So keep learning. Tune into what's happening in product, sales, design, ops, whatever touches your world, because your perspective only gets sharper when you keep expanding it. So what does it take to be a thought leader? An opinion, an openness to speak it, and a willingness to learn and adapt. Take that unique point of view, add a bit of structure. To recap, start with why, pick your themes, find your voice, then stick with it. The rest will come with time. If you want more resources, templates, and inspiration from other leaders and CMOs, connect with us on social or simply head to our site, cmoalliance.com. All relevant links are included in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.